So listen, everybody, I've got my good friend and, I guess I'll have to admit, he is my fitness coach as well. Everybody knows that. Brett Clark from BC Fitness. Brett, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing really well, Dan.
What people should know is I'm literally calling you out of the blue. I mean, you've been helping people all day. You help me on a regular basis. In fact, I call you a bunch of bad names when you don't hear me, and I'm probably gonna have to do that here again soon because I saw my workout today. But you really actually don't have much of a knowledge of why I'm calling you, do you?
Nope. You scheduled. I put you on my schedule. I got you into my queue, and you said, "Hey, can you jump on Zoom at 4 o'clock today?" And that's what I'm doing.
So you probably know I've been a Catholic my entire life, and I've been to many a confession where I've started by saying, "Father, forgive me, for I have sinned." It's been insert time since my last confession. I've been down that road many a time. So now I'm doing it a little bit different. Coach Brett, forgive me, I have sinned. This is my first confession, probably not my last one. And so I want everybody listening, I want people to know, because we're talking about health and wellness and things like that. And we're not always good. So I want people to hear my confession as you hear it. And you can tell me what you think when it's all done. Are you up to the challenge?
Absolutely, lay it on me. I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of whoppers, so
Well,
I'm
I don't know if
curious
it's a
what you're gonna lay on
whopper
me
or
here.
not, but here it is. So and actually it's about the same time I'm doing my annual physical. So this is in correlation with that. I just did my labs. I do an annual physical every summer. So this is a good time to think about it. So listen, last October 2021, I hit, as I look at my notes, I hit the lowest weight that I'd been at. I was at 175.3 pounds. All right. I'm gonna be throwing some metrics out at you here. 175.3. I was at my lowest. In December, probably right around Christmas and holidays, I got up to about 180. I wasn't worried because I'd been between 175, 177. I got to 180. It's like, okay, it's the holidays. I'm all right. In March, I was still close. I was now at 181. In March at 181, still not thinking much about it. Even into April, 182. But do you see a pattern here? And Joe in the background, I don't care if he barks or not. I don't care. He's all good. In July 12th, I took my weight, July 12th. This is just a few days later. I tipped the scale at 184, and now I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm going, this is bullshit. What the fuck is going on? It's a podcast, so I can talk that way, because that's how I was feeling. That's 9 pounds, Brett. I know you can do the math. That's 9 pounds ago. And I just didn't feel like it was that big, anything was happening. So I'm starting off right off the bat. Brett, I've gained 9 pounds since October, and I am not happy about it.
That's number one, great to have that recognition to say, hey, something's different. Let's explore this. Let's take a look and see what's going on. But what we want to do, that 9 pounds, that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant.
Thank you for thanks for telling me. That's like when the father would tell me, that's a pretty significant sin there, son.
Yeah, exactly. And so but Dan, the way you've described it is how it creeps up on people. Had you gone October to December and gained 9 pounds, maybe some red flags would have gone off. But this is a gradual process, and weight gain is a gradual process. It takes some time. Your body has to react. Your body has to absorb. Your body has to work on the food, the additional calories, because it comes as a result of calories. Has to work on the additional calories to get there. So the gradual weight gain is actually one of the toughest ones, because it's kind of the silent the silent stealthy sneaks up on you.
The assassin,
And that
the silent
yeah,
assassin.
it is. And so, gradually, if you're not charting this as you have charted it, you're not going to maybe notice that you're up 9 pounds over 9 months, but just say, okay, well, I'm only 184 now, and a couple months ago I was 181, but no. So good wherewithal for you to say, hey, something's amiss.
Yeah, so like I said, I had to figure out, okay, like I said, this is bullshit. I got to figure this out. And so I've done my self-awareness. Because again, when you go to confession, you have to do an exam. It's called an examination of conscience, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
This is my examination of why I've gained 9 pounds since October. So number one, because it's interesting because I don't feel things like I was doing things different, but here's what I've done, and I've figured them out, I think, in priority order. Number one, portion control. When I'd gotten down to 175, I was not having seconds, Brett. I would, especially for dinner, I was not having seconds. I would allow myself seconds on Sundays, but that was it. So I'd give myself kind of the one day, but I was never having seconds. And I realized that over the last few months, I've been having seconds. And not only sometimes at dinner, but maybe sometimes at lunch as well. And I realized, we all can be stress eaters. I'm not a constant stress eater, but I could be a stress eater in the meals I eat. So portions got out of control. I instead of just having one dinner, I dish up seconds, and I was doing that almost every night. Number two, not closing my rings, Brett. As you know, I've got my Apple Watch and I've got my 3 rings, and I was always closing all my rings every day, right? All 3 rings, which is a move, exercise, and stand. And as I look back, because I chart this too, I was always closing my stand, almost always closing exercise, but my movement, some of those exercises, the functional strength training you give me, Brett, I can work out hard, but they might only account for about 200 calories burned. And I still need to get to 700 every day. So I've not been closing my move, which means I've been more stationary. I've been sitting more, even though I'm doing my exercises daily. The days, and this was this is farther down, but I'll do it now. I was not consistently doing cardio on my non-run days. So I still am running, and I'm actually running as fast as I was, but I'm not doing the cardio on those non-run days. Number 3, this is the big one. I know sometimes people say, oh, I got soda pop. I don't drink soda pop. And it's not the wine and it's not the bourbon. You know what it is? It's the mochas. The mochas are my downfall. When I got down to 175, I gave myself 1 mocha a week. I found myself cheating and saying it's okay because I'm only asking for half chocolate, right? Okay, I'm going to ask for half chocolate. That makes it all better. And all of a sudden I realized, and I looked at my budget. Hey, I'm buying more mochas, and those seem to be adding on.
Those, some of those, Dan, that can be, anywhere from a quarter cup to a third of a cup of sugar in a typical mocha.
Yeah. So the mochas, I think I'm gonna go drink more bourbon and have less mochas, and I'm probably better off. But no, I'm gonna keep the bourbon at bay as well. But the mochas were killers. Here's the next one. I was eating more processed foods, and I found this to happen because my timing. I was coaching golf. I didn't have time to make food all the time. We've got a lot of things going on with the kids and grandkids, and so even though it's what I would call good organic processed foods, I was eating more, and I realized I was eating the whole dang thing. And sometimes there's more than one portion or serving in
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah.
So increased portion with increased processed foods. And then the last thing, I wasn't hydrating enough. And I got my water right here. I've been drinking those. I looked at those 6 things and I realized that that's my problem. That's where I'm gaining the weight. Even though I'm still exercising, I'm still doing the workouts you give me, not
Yep.
getting as much cardio in. I'm not moving as much. I'm eating more processed foods. I'm taking seconds and I'm drinking those damn mochas
Yep.
more than I should. So,
Yep.
Brett, there it is.
That, Dan, that's you're in a large group of sinners. So there's there's yeah. And I if I'm going to be the person that judges, I need to stand further back in line as well. I can't be the first one to judge on this one, because we can run into those. But the key points that you talked on is one of the things that I talk a lot about, is really about that meal prepping. When you were at your successful level, Dan, I know that you were meal prepping. I know that, and so you're creating portion control. You already have this portion control, and you're using whole foods, and you're using all those skills to keep those calories at bay. And you're absolutely right. You can't outwork a poor diet. And that's ultimately what that comes down to with that. And like you say, that's, if I made a top 5 of the vast majority of my clients, that is almost verbatim what the majority of them would say, as their struggles.
So the reason I come on and I tell the world all of my sins here, and you hear my confession, one of the I want people to kind of learn from this, because it's easy to get out of the health and fitness habit, and we're heading into summer, and I know I'm playing golf tomorrow, and people want to go to the beach and all of that, and that's all great. The hard thing is that it's easy, I think, even more so in summer, to get out of the habit of doing things. So do you have any advice for people listening to this to try to stay on track or get back on track with some health and fitness?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like we talked about a second ago, meal prepping, that's the most important key. Starting each day with a plan. Success is in your routine, and starting each day with that plan for here's what's going to be we're going to have available to eat. Containering your meals, creating your meals prior and containing those for the day. That's going to give you a structured environment. A lot of times when we're left on our own to make our own choices, we can make some poor choices, or we can make some quicker choices. Some of those instances where you say, gosh, I haven't eaten for a while, I should maybe stop and get something to eat. And then you make the best choice of what you have available. When there could have been a little bit of preparation going into that. Right. Also, you touched on another piece, especially right now during summer, especially right now with the heat the way it is all over the country, is hydration. Making sure that you're getting that water intake in each day. Not only is that vital for weight loss and things like that, but just vital for natural function. And most of us are going to need to be around 90 to 120 ounces of water a day, which is up to a gallon.
Right.
And so just making sure you're consistently getting that in as well. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to have more energy. Though people that have headaches, people that have headaches sometimes can be taken just with the fact that they're just dehydrated, and they can use some water. So
right.
all great tips that I would use there. The other thing that I want to talk about too is kind of on that whole mocha side of it too, is you don't have to swear off everything, right?
Right.
But everything in moderation, and you and I talked a lot about, your zest for libations, and nothing wrong with that. And those mochas, there's a place for those mochas, but make sure that you also create that space for yourself to say, okay, I'm going to have one mocha a week, and that's what I'm going to have, and then stick to that plan.
Well,
because
the
that plan
sticking
is
to it,
successful.
yeah, the sticking to it, because that I mine is on Wednesdays. I had mine yesterday, and I kept to that, and I'll keep it to once a week. And the same, the desserts. I was going to say, I forgot those on there. Desserts were once a weekend. That was kind of my cheat, not a cheat, but my reward. It's easy to kind of find an extra slice of ice cream on a Tuesday night instead. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all about rewards. I'm all about everything in moderation, but it's easy to say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And yeah, that's a lot of what that is. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. But you know, and fitness shouldn't, or nutrition shouldn't be a burden. But you know, it should be part of your everyday lifestyle. And you know, those treats that you have, you know, they should be used as treats.
Yeah.
And it's a great time and a great place for those.
So listen, I'm going to have you back. We're going to probably do this a little bit more often. Maybe every quarter I'll have you on. And I'm not necessarily for confession. Hopefully the next time I'll tell you, hey, I'm back down to where I want to be. But we're going to have you back on. You willing to hop back on every once in a while?
Hey Dan, anytime you ask me anything, the answer is always yes.
All right. Well, now, believe it or not, I got to go do my workout for the day, but I've already walked the dog and I've already hit my exercise goal. So now it's just gravy. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
hit the core today. Hey, Brett, thanks for being on the show. We'll have you back a little bit later. Everybody out there, hang in there. Summer's here. Sun's out. So you want to get the guns and the buns out probably. So you got to get them in shape. Right, Brett?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And get that water out too.
All right, everybody, keep chasing Unleashed.